Hey everybody, welcome back to another week of She's Got the Lead. I know we've been gone for a while, but now we're ready to get back into some more football. First, I want to talk about Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals. They're now 5-2, leading the AFC North, and from beating the Baltimore Ravens 41-17. How do you feel?
I feel that the Bengals made a statement playing for first place in the AFC North, playing against Baltimore Ravens. I mean, they beat them convincingly. And I also want to talk about how in only his second year, Joe Burrow taking his big leap, big step. I mean, like Peyton Manning did. Like, he just taking a step that he's knowing the game. The game is slowing down to him so far. Him and Jamar Chase are back. And when he got a receiver for him, his receiver from LSU, and I just made him more comfortable. But he looks pretty good and looks like they're gonna do a lot of winning in years to come.
Yeah, that was smart on the Bengals to go ahead and get a receiver that Joe Burrow was familiar with.
Yeah, very
in
familiar.
Order to make them a winning team this season. Next, I want to talk about the Chiefs. They're now 3-2. They have 17 turnovers, and this is honestly ridiculous coming from the Chiefs. I think that defenses are starting to read the Chiefs, and Patrick Mahomes are starting to get to them a lot easier. Patrick Mahomes isn't making those fantastic or like outstanding plays that he usually makes. And their defense is like really, really bad. I think that plays a big part in why they're losing as well.
Not as much as the offense. I understand the offense hasn't been the offense that we're used to, but the defense is terrible. I'm talking about, and like whenever you could put up 28 points, your defense, just hold on to 14-17. I mean, you usually can't shoot it out with the Kansas City Chiefs, and I usually say you got to score 31 points, but their defense is that bad, so I can't put everything on Pat Mahomes. I just think he's trying too hard. He's trying to make that big play. He's trying to, because he knows what the defense got. They're just always on the field. Like the defense is, it's the whole drive. It's just crazy. Like this defense can't stop nobody. So I can't just put it all on the offense.
So do you think that they'll be a playoff contender?
Not this year. As much as I would like to believe in them, and I know they could put up points once they get to clicking. But I just think it's too big of a hole to come back.
Especially going like these playoff teams that we're seeing. I don't think that their defense will be able to keep up with these other teams. And like you said, their offense is good, but the defense is coming from these playoff teams. They're going to be stopped. So.
Yeah.
And speaking of playoff contenders, I really want to talk about the Thursday night game against the Green Bay Packers and the Arizona Cardinals. That was a really great head-to-head game. If it wasn't for AJ Green not turning around in the last seconds before they scored that touchdown, I really do think the Cardinals could be undefeated right now. But as always, I am an Aaron Rodgers fan, so I'm kind of happy that the Packers came out with that win.
This is one of the Thursday night games that stood up to being a Thursday night game. Like it was worth standing up watching. Like it was a good game. It was everything you anticipated. Kyler Murray, Aaron Rodgers, everything was great. It was a good game, and that's another thing I'm trying to say. Like also like Joe Burrow and Kyler Murray, we see the progression of the quarterback. Like how fast the game is. They're catching on to the game now. Like we see these young kids growing and starting to understand the game, and that's what's making it exciting. That's what makes football, like the future for football, just looks great.
Yeah, I do think I wasn't like a big Kyler Murray fan when he was coming into the league, but watching him, the way that he releases the ball and gets it out to his receivers, because he's so small, he's like always running around, but the way he throws that ball and gets it out to his receivers is like really ridiculous. I do think that they probably could have shut out the Packers a little bit more if DeAndre Hopkins was better. And DeAndre Hopkins would have made that catch. AJ Green, he needs to get it together. And lastly, we can talk about Mike Tomlin being asked about the coaching job for USC. Referring to Stephen A. Smith's comments, I really do think that was offensive, personally, because, like he said, they aren't asking Sean Payton or Andy Reid about these questions. And the Steelers were not even doing bad. It's not even that far into the season to say that he should be going down to a college coaching job. And even when we were 8-8 with Doug Hodges, they were still questioning Mike Tomlin's ability to coach the Pittsburgh Steelers. But like they said, he has a way better resume. He hasn't had a losing season since. So it's like, why are you questioning this man? Like, regardless of what he does, he's still going to make sure that the Steelers are either a playoff contender or a team that will be talked about. And he has been doing that for years.
I mean, that right there is plain and simple to me. That was just like how you ask this black man who had a Super Bowl ring, never had a losing record. Andy Reid had a Super Bowl ring, has losing records. Sean Payton has a Super Bowl ring, has losing records. But y'all ask this man about coaching college. That right there is just like a slap in the face. Like, where did this come from? Like, we've seen Mike Tomlin as a leader of men. He's a leader of men. He's a good coach. Not that he won a Super Bowl, he's been in 2 Super Bowls. And he's always there in the playoffs. He's always there.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you know, and that's our team right there, and that's just saying a lot. That was just a sign of disrespect. For y'all to ask this black man who is a great coach, Hall of Fame coach, about coaching USC.
And then it's just like, I don't think the Steelers that we have right now would be the same if we did lose Mike Tomlin. I feel like with the draft picks that we have in Najee Harris, and then with Ben being about to retire, I do think that these new people that we may draft or we may get, I think Tomlin will be the coach that we need to create that team in order to be Super Bowl champions again.
I mean, he's one of them coaches that you would run through a brick wall for. He's one of them type of coaches, like he wants you to get up. You're ready for practice. You want to play on Sunday. You want to play for this man because that's how good of a coach he is.
Yeah, a lot of the players have a lot of respect for Mike Tomlin. So
never say never, but never.